A different problem, just using fractions and not whole numbers, we're going to be doing B. So 5/7 minus 1/7 minus another 2/7. Well, we keep our denominator of 7 and we subtract. 5 minus 1 is 4, 4 minus 2 is 2. And in this situation, we don't have to simplify anymore because 2/7 is in the simplest form. Moving on, where it says on page 115, you're going to write the fraction of each set that is shaded. You see on problem A, I just want to show you guys where it has 7 circles and 2 of them are shaded. It's going to say, write what fraction of each set is shaded. Well, there's 2 shaded and there's 7 total. So 7 is our denominator and 2 is our numerator. So we have, this is going to equal 2/7. That's a little bit more review for you guys. If we're looking at page 116, this is a new concept you guys have not worked through. So it says find the value of each of the following. It says 1/3 of 15 is going to equal what? And then above you see the image of the cats. And the cats are all displayed in different rows. If you see, there is 15 cats total, and there are 5 cats in each row. I'm going to show you why. 1/3 of 15, the way that we find 1/3 of 15 is by taking our denominator and dividing it into the total number that we're dealing with. So we're going to divide 3 into 15. 3 times 5 is 15. So 1/3 of the 15 cats is going to equal 5. Well, so 1/3 of 15 equals 5. Look at your row of cats. There are 5 cats in each row. So you see that it's divided into 3 rows. So now you know there's 1/3 of 15 is 5. But then it asks, what are 2/3 of 15? Well, the way that we do that is we take what we know 1/3 of 15 is, which is 5. So 5 times 2, because we're dealing with 2/3, and that gives us 10. So 1/3 of 15 was 5, and 2/3 of 15 was 10. And the way that you can check that is by counting how many, it's divided into 3 rows, how many cats was in one row? 5. How many cats was in 2 rows? 10. So if we wanted to find out what 3/3 of 15 was, we would know that it would be 15. We add 5 each time. So that's how you do problem A on page 116. And you're going to do the same thing with those other problems. On page 117, we're dealing with money. And it's asking you to write the amount of money that's shown and then write the amount as a fraction of $1. So on problem B, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Problem B on page 117, you see these 3 quarters. Hopefully you can tell that they're quarters. So each quarter is worth 25 cents. We know that. So if we wrote this in the money as shown, we know that 25 cents plus 25 cents plus another 25 cents is 75 cents. So that's what you would write in that second box right there. But then you want to write the fraction of $1. Well, we know that 4 quarters, so 4 of these would equal $1, but we only have 3. So we have 3/4 of $1 because it takes 4 quarters to make $1. If we were doing problem C, we have 4 dimes, which they all equal 10 cents. And then we have 2 nickels, which equal 5 cents. We're going to add that all together. Well, 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 40 cents. Plus 5 plus 5 cents, which is 10 cents, giving us 50 cents. So if we were to write that, we would write that as such. So this is what you would write, 50 cents. Well, what would that be of a dollar of a fraction? Well, we know that 50 cents plus another 50 cents is a dollar. So therefore we know that as a fraction, it would be 1/2. And how would we know that? Well, we could reduce that to 5/10, which actually 5/10 equals 1/2. Our magic number would be 5 actually, because 5 goes into 5 once and 5 goes into 10 twice. But we know just by looking at that, 50 cents plus 50 cents is a dollar. So we know that half of a dollar is represented in that picture. Moving on to page 119, you guys have a couple word problems that you might need some help with. So on 6 and 7, I'm not going to do them with you necessarily, but I'm going to give you two key parts of that are going to help you solve the problem. So problem 6 on page 119, you need to know that 16 ounces equals 1 pound. And if you know that, you will be able to solve that word problem. On the next page, problem 7, you guys need to know that 1,000 kilograms or 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. And by using this conversion, you guys will be able to solve that problem. And then I want to do problem 8 with you guys because it's a little tricky. So Sally bought 4 rolls of ribbon to make 10 bows. So each roll of ribbon costs $5. So on A, we're going to find the total cost of the 4 rolls of ribbon. So finding the total cost of the rolls of ribbon, we know that there's 4 rolls of ribbon. And it says each roll of ribbon costs us $5. Each costs us $5. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the 4 rolls of ribbon times the $5 each. It costs us them $5 each. So these are the rolls. This is the dollar amount. And that's going to give us $20. For B, it says find the cost of the ribbon for making 1 bow. Okay, so we just found out that there's $20. That's how much we had to spend. So we're actually going to, for B, we're going to take the $20. We're going to divide it by how many bows we made total. So we bought 4 rolls of ribbon and we made 10 bows. So we're going to divide 10 total bows, divide it into the total amount that it cost us to make the 4 rolls of ribbon, and we're going to get how much each bow ended up costing us. So 10 times 2 is 20, giving us $2. So find the cost of the ribbon for making 1 bow. $2 for each bow. So that's how much it costs us to make each bow. So those are all the problems that I'm going to do with you guys. I know this was a really long lesson, so thank you for watching. If you guys need more review, go back to the video and the examples. But a couple key things that I want to remind you guys of when we're adding and subtracting. 1, we're keeping the denominator. The same when adding or subtracting. And number 2, when finding simplest form, we find our magic number to divide both numerator and denominator. So if you guys remember those two key rules, it will really help you add and subtract your fractions to find the simplest form and to add them not using, if you don't need to use simplest form. So whether you're adding several or you're adding only a couple, you guys can use these rules, and hopefully this will help you solve these problems. Thank you guys so much for following along, and I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson.